When it was time for Thankful and Parley Pratt to have their baby, they came home from their mission in Canada. They had a healthy baby boy, just as the Lord had promised they would. Sadly, Thankful died a few hours after the baby was born. Parley knew he wouldn't be able to take care of the baby without her. He asked a woman in Kirtland to care for the baby while he went back to Canada to finish his mission. In Kirtland, Joseph Smith started a bank to raise money for God's work. He asked people to let the bank use their money so others could borrow it. But for many reasons, the bank didn't have enough money and had to close. Other banks in the United States were failing too. Life became hard for the saints. Some lost their jobs and now didn't have enough money to buy food or clothes. Some people were angry at Joseph, even some of his close friends. They thought Joseph wasn't a true prophet because the bank failed. While this was happening, Parley came home from his mission. The problems with the bank made life hard for Parley too. He wouldn't have enough money to pay for his house, and he wouldn't have a place to live. Now Parley was angry with Joseph too. He wrote Joseph a letter. He told Joseph that he still believed in the Book of Mormon, but he also said unkind things about the prophet. He told Joseph he was wrong to start the bank in the first place. Later, some of Parley's friends from Canada came to Kirtland. Parley had taught them the gospel, and they were happy to see him again. But they were also surprised that Parley and so many others had lost their faith that Joseph Smith was a prophet. One of Parley's friends from Canada was John Taylor. When Parley saw him, he told John how angry he was at Joseph Smith. He told John not to follow Joseph anymore. John reminded Parley that when they were in Canada, Parley had shared his testimony that Joseph Smith was a true prophet. "I now have the same testimony," John said. "If the work was true 6 months ago, it is true today. If Joseph Smith was then a prophet, he is now a prophet." Parley knew his friend John was right. He felt sorry about his angry letter to Joseph. He knew that Joseph was doing his best to do the Lord's work. The problems with the bank did not mean that Joseph was not a true prophet of Jesus Christ. Parley went to Joseph's home. He told Joseph that he was sorry about the unkind things he had said. Joseph forgave Parley, prayed for him, and blessed him. Parley served many more missions and told people all over the world that Joseph Smith was the Lord's prophet.
Mary and Caroline Rollins. Mary Rollins was 12 years old when missionaries first visited Kirtland, Ohio. She heard them talk about the Book of Mormon. At that time, there was only one copy of the book in Kirtland, and a church leader named Isaac Morley had it. Mary went to Brother Morley's home and asked to see the book. Brother Morley let her hold it. Mary asked if she could take it home. Brother Morley didn't want to give Mary his copy of the book. He hadn't read very much of it yet. Mary pleaded with Brother Morley to let her borrow it. Brother Morley agreed. He said Mary could take the book home if she brought it back early the next day. Mary treated it like a treasure. She stayed up most of the night reading. When Mary gave the book back, Brother Morley was surprised at how much she had read. "Child," he said, "take this book home and finish it. I can wait." Mary was the first person in Kirtland to read the Book of Mormon all the way through. Soon after she finished, she met the prophet Joseph Smith. When he found out how much Mary loved the Book of Mormon, he said that she could have Brother Morley's copy. He would give Brother Morley another one. Later that year, Mary and her family moved to Independence, Missouri. She was excited to watch as church leaders began to put together a new book called the Book of Commandments. This book would have many of the revelations Jesus Christ had given to Joseph Smith. But some people in Independence didn't like the church. They wanted the saints to leave. One day, angry men broke into the building where the Book of Commandments was being printed. They threw the printing press out the window and scattered the pages of the Book of Commandments into the street. Mary and her sister Caroline were watching from behind a fence. Mary told Caroline she wanted to get the pages before they were ruined. Caroline was afraid of the angry men. "They will kill us," she said. But Mary and Caroline knew that those pages had the Word of God on them. The sisters waited until the men weren't looking. Then they ran into the street and grabbed as many pages as they could hold. As they hurried away, some men saw them and yelled at them to stop. Mary and Caroline held the pages tighter and ran as fast as they could into a nearby cornfield. Two men chased the sisters into the cornfield. The corn was so tall, Mary and Caroline couldn't see where they were going. They threw themselves to the ground and hid the pages beneath their bodies. They listened quietly as the two men walked through the corn looking for them. Soon the men gave up. Mary and Caroline were safe. They had saved the pages of the Lord's revelations for the Book of Commandments. Today, those revelations are in the Book of Doctrine and Covenants.